What this is about is giving you permission to step into your real truth. This is about giving you permission to be who you are. That's what giving you back to you is about.
Wow.
It's an open conversation.
Jason, I never really thought of it that way. Because you kind of go through your daily life and just kind of, you don't really put things in perspective like that.
Absolutely.
And so many people are put in that box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, against their will, and then what I'm seeing is kind of like against their will. But you know what is the refreshing thing here? I think, having a talented person like yourself here, bringing all that out, is this out there. If you're listening, you know what? If you have any questions, call in at 314-714-4200. Jason would be more than happy to answer anything you want to give to him. But with the demographics that are happening right now, Jason, with all the different changes, we're kind of coming into, I've heard it called the awakening.
Absolutely.
It's to where, it's a new spiritual situation, and people are kind of forced out of their box right now. And that's why they need somebody like you to actually, that's not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
It's not a bad thing, to be a little confused, a little disoriented right now, because that means you're growing. And that's what, and is that kind of like what you're going to be helping out with? It's kind of helping them fine tune now that they're out of the box. Where do they go?
Absolutely. I love having you on the show. I love having you on the show. This is a lot of fun. Bob, you hit it right on the head when you said it's about awakening. Because we're going to talk about relationship issues. We're going to talk about personal issues. We're going to talk about that dreaded word called sex. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. I'll tell you how this all got started. Probably about 9 months ago.
Okay.
I'm sitting in my basement, and I'm going to tell you I'm a small business owner, and blessedly we've done well. But like so many other small business owners, when the economy crashed...
Struggling.
Good God. So I'm sitting in my basement. I'm trying to figure out what in the blue hell I'm going to do next.
Right.
Do I continue with my business? Do I get a job? Then I started to feel sorry for myself. I'm not going to lie to you. It was probably a moment. It was probably one of the lowest moments because I'm thinking I have a beautiful wife. I have 4 beautiful kids. I'm trying to figure out
where do you go with it?
Where do I go with this? What do I do? And I sat back. I was like, wait a minute. What am I complaining about? If I'm in this position and I need somebody to really talk to, somebody to really hear me, how many other people are out there who are feeling the exact same way?
Wow.
Or they're dealing with something else.
Right.
So went on to Facebook, and it seems like everybody's on Facebook. Thank you for being on Facebook.
Everybody's on Facebook. iWatch Radio, not the iWatch Radio, the only radio station, online radio station to broadcast live on Facebook.
Exactly.
I had to throw that in.
Little plug. There's nothing wrong with it. But I put out a very simple post, and it simply said this. To all my friends, to all my associates, to all my Facebook friends, as you call them.
Okay.
If you're dealing with something, if you just need someone to talk to, whether you need somebody to praise you, whether you need somebody to just listen to you, whether you want to scream, whether you want to curse, whatever it is you're going through, hit me up.
Nice.
Inbox me, put something on my post, or on my wall rather, send me your phone number, whatever the case might be, because I'll be here to listen to you. And I'm going to tell you this, Bob. The response that I got was amazing. People weren't exactly specific about what they were going through, but they simply said one thing. The common denominator was this.
What?
Thank you for being willing to be there. Because there are times when I feel like there's nobody there.
Jason, the timing of this can't be any better. Like I said earlier, with the demographics where they're going right now, we're headed to a wonderful position. Everybody's thinking it's doom and gloom right now, but because change is always difficult. Whether it's good or bad, change is always difficult. It's always stressful because you're changing.
Right.
And so a lot of people just don't know where to change to.
Exactly.
And thank goodness for the informational highways like we have here at iWatch Radio. And the internet. Now you can communicate with a broad range here. And I don't know if I'm going to be too forward here, Jason, but what I'm hearing from you, if you're listening out there, I mean, would you entertain the fact of actually having some guests actually come onto your show, and then you could actually counsel them right here on your show?
I would love to. I would love to. One of the things
I think that would be a great concept.
Absolutely. And let me say something right quick. Bob and Teresa Miller.
Yes.
Two of the most talented people that I know.
Oh, look at this guy. I paid him for that.
He paid. How about this? He paid me. He paid me in goodwill. I remember getting together with you all in McDonald's. This was about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
When we were just entertaining the idea of actually doing the show, and we were coming up with all these different show topics.
Yeah, variations, right?
Variations, titles, whatever the case might be. And one of the things that stuck out to me the most is just this idea that I would love to have somebody here.
Yeah.
I would love to actually just sit down and we talk.
Right.
We talk through things, because please keep this in mind, folks. We're together for an hour. Now, this is not going to be 1 hour where I'm just sitting here lecturing.
Right.
This is going to be 1 hour where it's a conversation, whether it's you calling in on the phone,
right,
or it's somebody right here in the studio, where we're just going to talk about whatever the issues might be.
And and talking, communication is paramount. If you want to grow into the new awakening,
right,
is be open. This is the time to open up. This is the time to take the life shackles off, per
Absolutely.
se. That you've been pigeonholed into this particular environment where you don't have to be pigeonholed anymore. The gate's open.
Wide open.
The wide open, and it is a little frightening out there, because there's a lot of uncertainty.
Sure.
But uncertainty breeds innovation.
Right.
It just does. And when you have an environment to where, like, okay, what's next? That gets the platform out there for all kinds of wonderful possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's the imagination, where the imagination could really run rapid and get going. But being grounded is very important, and that's what Jason here is going to do for you, is ground you, get you fixed to the ground, so then you have a very strong foundation to build that big oak tree.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you this right now. One of the things that I do is that I deal in emotions. Whatever it is you're going through, call me and let's put it on the table.
Nice.
Because so often the thing that's stopping you from getting to that next great life is the past. But so often, how many times, when people go to high school reunions, you can always tell those folks who are still stuck in being in high school, right?
Yeah.
You can always tell those folks who are still stuck in the past. If you're dating somebody, consider the first date you might have with somebody. They spend probably about 90% of that conversation talking about their exes, talking about how bad things were, right? And there's about that maybe 10% of that time, that conversation time, is actually spent with a forward-thinking approach. Maybe this could be the one. Here's the problem. If 90% of your time is stuck in the past, how can you appreciate your present, let alone step into your future?
You can't even go there.
It's not going to happen.
No, you can't. There's no traction whatsoever in that venue. But that's what Jason's here to do.
Absolutely.
So don't. So many people. I have found being a musician, being out there on stage and having fun. That when I have a guitar, I know I get a little tangent here, but I have a guitar
please.
that I'm mobile. I have a mobile unit where I can actually just go out and have fun. And there's so many people out there that I run across that really want to get up there and dance. They really want to go do that, but they're shy.
Right.
And you can see it when I walk up to, can almost see the fear in their eyes when I'm playing, and I start walking toward them. He's going to go, oh my God, I'm going to have to react to it. Oh my God, what do I do?
Right.
But they're all excited about it. They want it, but at the same time, they're, you see that apprehension. So don't be apprehensive here. It's a common, normal, knee-jerk reaction to something you really want to do. Don't be afraid.
Exactly.
Call. This is the time. Am I right here, Jason?
You are spot on. I'm here to take you by the hand. I'm going to tell you this true story, and please understand, as we do this every Saturday, and as we're together, you're going to hear a lot of these true stories, because I'm going to be about as vulnerable as I possibly can be with you.
Nice.
I'm sitting in the parking lot. I got here around 9 a.m. And all I'm thinking to myself is, there is no way in God's green earth I could possibly do this show. I was scared to death. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, I was scared to death.
Really? Okay.
And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, you have your business, you have your nice life.
Right.
Why step out here and do this? That was fear talking, right?
Yes.
And how many times do we allow fear to actually take over our actions and take over our life? Because we spend so much of our time in what if, but when we're finally faced with the opportunity to actually step into our next greatest purpose, we backpedal.
Yeah.
But here's what happened. As I'm thinking to myself, I can't do this, maybe we should postpone this for another week, you pull up. Teresa pulls up.
Yeah, we were going to let you do that.
Teresa knocks on my door and she says, are you ready? And I was like, okay, let's roll.
We have a feedback. We have a Facebook question. Sandy's question. Oh, go ahead and read that.
Sandy's question. Hey, Sandy. 49. I have a 22-year-old boyfriend. He's controlling. He micromanages everything I do, and I can't get rid of him. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's me that does not want to get rid of him, and I just can't move forward. What's your advice, Jason?
Good question.
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
Well, let me say this to you, Sandy. First off, thank you, because you have officially made history with being our first question.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sandy. There's a couple things that come to mind. Where are you in the relationship? Is this somebody that you really want to be with because you want to be with him? Is this something that he's doing for you? Can we put that question up just one more time, if I could see it? So I want to make sure I hit all the points. Okay. So it sounds like your 22-year-old boyfriend, and it sounds like there's a difference in age as well. So he micromanages everything you do. So I would say the first thing that I would ask of you is, have you really talked to him? Have you let him know how you feel? Chances are if he's controlling, he's going to backpedal and he's going to put the blame back on you. I would really consider talking to a third party, maybe a therapist, maybe somebody of that nature, because maybe this is not just about him, your boyfriend. Maybe this is about you as well. Because without being able to talk to you directly, I'd like to know if you've had any other relationships like this. Is this something that goes back to your relationship perhaps with your father? But most importantly, Sandy, you deserve to be happy. And being in a controlling relationship, being in a relationship where you're micromanaged to the point where his thoughts become your thoughts, that's not living. That's something akin to dying to me. What do you think?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, my thought on that is, where if you're letting somebody control you, then you're not letting yourself be yourself.
Right.
And so there's a fear factor in there,
mm-hmm.
Of uncertainty. First, I would probably, research the fact of, go inside myself.
Absolutely.
I'd say go inside yourself. Try, I like the Ben Franklin deal. The pros and cons, and that always seems to it never lies.
Right.
You put the good points down, you put the bad points down. Then you've got a starting point to where you could start figuring out. Where do you want to position yourself on here? I mean, how do you feel about it? I mean, how does this person feel about being controlled like this? Is it something that she likes, wants, needs, or is she just afraid to move on?
Well, something that comes to mind too, because you just brought up some great points, is I've been in controlling relationships. I'm not going to lie to you. And I know what it's like to, it almost makes you schizophrenic. Because on one hand, you know that he's being controlling. You know that potentially it's not good for you. But on the other hand, you're scared to step out. Because, and I didn't see this in terms of how long you all been together, but chances are if you've been together for some time, it's almost like you need his permission in order to step out. It's like you need his permission in order to do the things that you want to do. So I commend you, first off, for even taking the affirmative step and acknowledging that he's controlling. But then that next step, and I need you to hear me on this, Sandy, because I mean this wholeheartedly. That next step is defining what you want for you. If you want to remain in a controlling relationship, I have no judgments here. I say if that's your purpose, then you do it. But if you feel like there's something else that you want, or something else that you need, Sandy, now's the time that we have to be more aggressive about acknowledging where we want to go next and who you want to be.